So, have you ever told a lie because you were scared? We all have, right? But what if that one little lie, told out of fear, could actually ripple through centuries? Well, today, we're diving deep into Genesis 20. It's a story that kicks off with a pretty desperate deception, but you won't believe it, it ends with a cosmic revelation. We're going to hit it all, from a king's terrifying nightmare to the secret spiritual codes hidden right there in the text. And to really get the whole picture, we're going to look at this story from 4 totally different angles. Think of it like a 4-level deep dive. We'll start at the surface, the simple story, the part you'd see on a movie screen. Then we're going to put on our detective hats and hunt for hidden clues. After that, it's courtroom time. We'll put the characters on trial and debate their choices. And finally, we're going to zoom all the way out to see the secret spiritual blueprint behind the whole thing. Let's jump in. All right, let's paint the picture. I want you to imagine you're in the middle of this blazing hot desert. The sun is just beating down. That's exactly where we find Abraham and Sarah, and they're walking into this powerful new kingdom called Gerar. They're strangers, total outsiders, and you can just feel the tension in the air. Yeah, and they're basically walking right into the lion's den. They have no clue what to expect from the powerful king who runs this place. So, what does Abraham do? He goes back to an old play, an old trick. He tells everyone that Sarah, his wife, is actually his sister. Now, why would he do that? Well, he is terrified that if the king sees Sarah and wants her, he'll just have Abraham killed to get him out of the picture. It's a really desperate move, and believe me, it is about to cause a whole lot of trouble.
And, wouldn't you know it, Abraham's worst fears come true almost immediately. The king, his name is Abimelech, he sees Sarah and he is just captivated. And because he's the king, he uses his power and just takes her for himself. It's such a terrifying moment. I mean, Sarah is taken, Abraham is completely helpless, and it just feels like a total disaster is about to unfold.
But that night, the whole story takes this crazy supernatural turn. God actually steps in. In a dream, God comes to King Abimelech with this terrifying, direct warning. This isn't a suggestion, it's a verdict. Abimelech wakes up and he knows, without a doubt, his life is on the line. And what happens next is just amazing. The king literally argues with God. He's like, wait a minute, I'm innocent here. They told me they were brother and sister.
And God basically says, you know what? You're right. I know you didn't mean to do anything wrong. That's why I stopped you. That's why I'm warning you. But then God gives him a very specific command.
Exactly. God says, return her to her husband. And by the way, he's not just any husband, he's a prophet. And you need him to pray for you or your whole kingdom is going to suffer. So, the next morning, a completely shaken Abimelech gathers his entire court. He calls Abraham in and confronts him. You can just hear the mix of fear and anger in his voice when he says, "What have you done to us? Why would you do this? You almost brought down a catastrophe on my entire kingdom."
So to fix this whole mess, Abimelech doesn't just return Sarah. He showers Abraham with gifts. We're talking sheep, oxen, servants, and 1,000 pieces of silver specifically to clear Sarah's name in public. He even invites them to live anywhere they want in his land. After all that, Abraham prays, and God heals the king's household. So on the surface, everything seems resolved.
So everything seems fine now, right? Crisis averted, Sarah's back, they're all rich. But if we look just a little bit closer, there are some really interesting clues in the story that hint there's something much deeper going on here. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, and all the clues are buried right there in the words themselves. Okay, so here's the central puzzle. God tells Abimelech, point blank, "You are a dead man." I mean, that sounds pretty final, right? But then Abimelech lives. So what's going on? Was God just trying to scare him straight? Or was this a prophecy that just hadn't come true yet? And the first clue is actually hiding in plain sight. It's in the name itself, Abimelech. It means my father is king. And what's wild is that this name pops up again hundreds of years later in the book of Judges, but it's a totally different guy, a different ruler. The ancient sources tell us this is no coincidence. It's a breadcrumb. Okay, get ready for this, because this is the amazing secret according to these ancient mystical texts. They teach that the soul of this first Abimelech was actually reborn or reincarnated hundreds of years later into another king with the exact same name. And this second Abimelech, he was a terrible, terrible tyrant. And how did he die? A woman on a tower dropped a millstone on his head. The prophecy came true.
He died because of the woman. It just took another lifetime for cosmic justice to play out. This whole idea is called a tikkun, a cosmic correction.
Wow, that idea of cosmic justice is just massive. But let's bring it back down to earth for a minute. Let's forget about prophecies and reincarnation and just talk about the people involved. It's time to put Abraham himself on trial. Was he just a scared guy trying to survive, or was he a coward who completely betrayed his wife? The debate starts now.
Okay, I'll take the defense. Look at his own words. I thought they will kill me. This is raw human fear we're talking about. He's an immigrant, a refugee in a land ruled by an absolute king who can do whatever he wants. This wasn't a failure of faith, it was a survival strategy. In a world with no 911 to call, what other choice did he really have?
Okay, I have to challenge that. I mean, come on, this is the second time he's pulled this stunt. He did the exact same thing back in Egypt. Did he learn nothing? And this isn't just about his own skin. He put Sarah, the matriarch, the mother of the entire future nation, in incredible danger. At what point does survival just become a reckless gamble with God's entire plan? Where was his trust in the God who had already promised to protect him?
You know, we could argue about this all day, and maybe there isn't a simple right or wrong answer on the human level. To find a deeper meaning, we have to zoom out one last time.
What do you mean zoom out?
We're going to look at the spiritual energy behind this story. Think of it like looking at the source code of a computer program. What was really, really happening on a cosmic level?
So, according to these mystical texts, every person and every event is tied to a different kind of spiritual energy. So think of Abraham as being the main channel for the energy of chesed, or loving kindness. His whole job is to bring kindness into the world.
Okay, so he's basically Mr. Kindness.
Exactly. But when he gets scared, that kindness channel gets blocked up, it gets distorted, and it comes out as a lie. Then you have Abimelech, who represents the energy of Gevora, or strict judgment. He's like a force of nature that creates a crisis specifically to show Abraham where his kindness channel is broken.
Okay, so what about Sarah?
Sarah is the most important of all. She represents the Shekinah, the divine presence, right here on earth. So when she's in danger, the whole cosmic system is out of whack. God has to step in with the energy of Tiferet, or harmony, to put kindness and judgment back into balance and fix the whole mess.
So when you look at it from this highest perspective, the entire event wasn't just a drama between three people. It was a necessary spiritual stress test. It had to happen to reveal a weakness in Abraham, the world's primary channel of kindness, and basically recalibrate the flow of divine energy through him, through Sarah, and through the entire world. Okay, so we've gone from a simple story all the way to cosmic physics. But what does any of this mean for us, right here, today? That's always the most important part. And that brings us to our challenge, which is all about improving our own character traits, our own inner dimensions of kindness and courage and honesty. The big lesson here is that fear can make us betray our own truth. Abraham's core strength was kindness, right? But fear twisted it into a lie. So here's the challenge for this week. For the kids listening, if you're ever scared to tell the truth about something you did, I want you to remember this story. Find a parent or a teacher you trust and ask them to help you be brave and honest. And for the adults, where is fear making you be less than fully honest? Maybe it's in a relationship, or at your job, or maybe just with yourself. This week, the challenge is to identify that one area and then just take one small, brave step toward facing that situation with truth, even though it feels scary.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and definitely share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.